Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here with the Fastlane car, and this is the 2018 Toyota CHR. Yes, the name is confusing, but we'll get to that in a minute. What do you think this car is? It's a hatchback. Why? Well, coming up next, I'm gonna tell you why, and this is a full review video. So we're gonna have driving impressions, MPG, and pricing. This 2-liter engine puts out 144 horsepower and 139 pound-feet of torque. Power is fed to the front wheels via a CVT, a continuously variable transmission. It has a setting where you can play with the gear lever and it will feel kind of sort of like it has a 7-speed gearbox. It's simulated. It's not a real one. There is no option for all-wheel drive. This is not a crossover in an SUV. It is a hatchback. Now, bet you're wondering about MPG. Well, I have it right here, and that is 27 miles per gallon city, 31 highway, and 29 miles per gallon combined. Foot all the way down. So we'll go up to nearly red line before it has the simulation of shifts. Not real shifts, it is simulated. It feels almost like it's an automatic transmission. Off the line, I wish there was a little bit more torque that was really biting in there. Doesn't really feel like there is. Braking. Whoa. Braking was good. Grabbed a lot faster than I expected. But the brakes are not wooden or anything else. They feel like they're really grabby, and I only pressed down about halfway with its whole distance before this thing pretty much came to a halt. All right, now I get to really talk about style, because that's the best part of this car. It's its strongest suit, the way it looks. I think it's fantastic to look at. Now you can get a white roof, kind of like a Mini Cooper, and that is an option. With this particular setup, with this paint job, I think it's pretty nice, but they have this green color that is just fantastic with the white roof. One of the things they managed to do is actually give the car haunches, and they gave it real fenders, and they really brought out the wheels to the sides. It frankly looks a lot faster than it actually is, which I think is actually a positive, because half the people who are going to be buying this vehicle want something fun and cool looking that's not too terribly expensive.
The CHR, what we're really proud of is the stylistic element on the vehicle. You'll see these 18-inch wheels, these big fender, that makes the car really look aggressive. These wheels push out to the corners. But check this out right here. There's this distinctive diamond theme that we're really focused on the design for the CHR. And one big diamond right here you see is this from this corner. It kind of just shoots up and it tips towards the front. And that's one large diamond.
Now there are a couple things that they sacrificed because of the looks, and one of them is right here. Door handle, way up high. Looks cool. Also, there is no sunroof. There is no moonroof. There is no convertible top, nothing like that. As is. What they did was they really limited the amount of choices that you have in this vehicle in order to keep the price down, which, well, frankly, they did a very good job on. Now, other people have commented that the rear looks kind of Honda-ish, and I would agree, but I still think it looks fantastic.
And you see this looping roof is very aerodynamic, very stylish. That gives off a coupe-like visual. And this door handle right here. And the reason why this door handle was designed the way it was because it completes the profile of the vehicle, but more importantly is that from afar it looks like a 2-door vehicle.
I bet you're wondering what CHR actually stands for. Well, according to Toyota, it's Coupe High Rider. It's counterintuitive because I'm sitting high, but I can really just push that corner, right? And that's cool. I like that a lot. It's really responsive. The steering is very light. Even in the sport mode, I thought it would really firm up the steering feel because I like a heavy steering feel, and it's not. But man, this thing goes where you pointed. It reminds me a lot of driving the Nissan Juke. in terms of its seating position and its overall performance around corners. Now, if this had a turbocharged engine like the Juke, this would be a whole different thing, but as it is fun to throw around corners, and although it's leisurely when it takes off, it's not what I would call piggish or slow. The interior on the 2018 Toyota CHR is pretty much what you see is what you get. There are no options for different colors, there's no option for leather. But what they've managed to do is create what I think is, in this price range, one of the best looking interiors I've seen. And that's the best looking. They managed to put together this diamond theme throughout the car. It's on the doors, it's on the roof, it's in areas that, just frankly speaking, look really cool. And they did it without using fake carbon fiber. Thank you, God, because I am so sick and tired of automakers using carbon fiber or fake carbon fiber as a decorative piece. Now, you do get a 7-inch screen, but that screen does not have options like navigation. But it does have options for you to hook up your phone, and you're able to do a few things through it, but you will not get Apple CarPlay.
And the cargo capacity on the CHR is actually pretty sufficient as well. We were able to fit 768 cans of Red Bull without impairing on visibility in the trunk of the CHR with the seat folded down.
You know, I think that one of the things you were we talked earlier, talk about is the safety and security of this vehicle.
Yeah, so safety is a huge story for the CHR. So it comes with standard TSSP, or Toyota Safety Sense P, and TSSP includes pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, automatic high beam, lane departure alert with steering wheel assist, and full speed range dynamic radar cruise control. I believe we're the only car in this segment to offer standard pre-collision with active braking, and we're the only compact crossover to offer the full speed range dynamic radar cruise control as standard equipment.
And I really truly do enjoy putting it into a corner. I know that the rear is lifting up just a little bit as I do it, but because of the independent rear suspension, it's keeping everything from getting too dramatic. Better than a twisting beam, I'll tell you that. Let's say you need to buy an economy car, and let's say you have a few people to truck around or dog, and you need a hatchback. This is not a bad idea at all. Now, I did ask about all-wheel drive because that's the one thing about this vehicle that I think it really needs. Because technically speaking, you would think that this would compete with the CX-3, which has an all-wheel drive option, the HR-V, which has an all-wheel drive option, the Renegade, the 500X. They all have all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive options. This car does not have that. But it does have a much cheaper price tag. And that is because, for one thing, it doesn't have all-wheel drive. So think of this as a high-bodied hatchback that would probably be pretty decent on rough roads, and even in snow country if you're cool with front-wheel drive, as long as you have the right tires. Now, in terms of those three different, the Sport, Normal, and Eco, what's the difference? What happens to the car when you go to sport mode?
Good question. So when we go to sport mode, the engine actually and the transmission will work together to actually hold the rev higher, and we're actually taking two curves. The shift will not upshift, so you'll actually pop out of the curve a little quicker and more exciting because of the sport mode.
And then with eco mode, everything kind of gets dialed down, the air conditioner and whatnot as well?
To focus on fuel economy. The rear is a double wishbone rear suspension, which a lot of competitors don't offer. They offer torsion beam. And the front has a McPherson strut, and both front and the rear has Sachs dampers. Sachs is a German company that we partner with to develop this sporty suspension on the CHR.
Now, there's not a lot of choices with this car, as I mentioned before. In fact, there's only two trim levels. There's the XLE and there's the Premium. Now, the XLE, check this out. Its price, $22,500. That ain't bad. That's actually a lot of car for the money. Now, if you're gonna bump up to the Premium, that's $24,350. And there's just a couple different options and whatnot that are between the two vehicles. Bottom line, for its price, it's a hell of a bargain. Is this the right car for you? Well, if you don't need all-wheel drive, but you need a high body vehicle, but more importantly, you want something fun. That's kind of in the same vein as a Yaris, but a lot more entertaining. I'm thinking this might be the right car for you. I cannot wait to get it up to Colorado where we can really put it through its paces. For the Fastlane Car, this is Nathan Adlin. Don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, and real-world reviews, and click over here to see more videos. I'll see you next time.